They said Santa can't be black, yet history would prove them wrong. This is Black Christmas. It's joy, it's fight, and it's about who gets to be seen in December. Today, we're going to talk about how the traditional white Santa was created, how blackface minstrel shows warped him, and how black shoppers and black churches forced malls to see us. This isn't just about Christmas. It's about representation. It's about who gets to define tradition and who gets to tell you that you belong. I'm your host, Country Boy, and this is Black Santa versus the White Gatekeepers. This is One Mic Black History. If you like stories like this, you can find more stories like this at onemichistory.com. But without further ado, let's get started. This isn't just about holiday decor. It shapes where Black children think they belong within the Christmas story. It decides who gets paid during the most profitable month of the retail year. And it shows how the Black community turned a borrowed holiday into its own culture and a Santa suit into power. Midwinter festivals, greens, candles, gifts were here long before even the United States. The Christian church placed Christmas on December 25th to coincide with long-standing pagan holidays. America layered on new parts: evergreen trees from German customs in the 1500s, English Christmas carols, and eventually the modern Santa. Writers locked in his look. Clement Clarke Moore, in a poem in 1823, illustrator Thomas Nast started in 1863 and gave him the fur-trimmed suit, the workshop, and the North Pole. And in 1931, Coca-Cola locked it in with the smiling grandpa holding a soda. And that's the official image that most of America learned. Yet there's a turn. Under enslavement, December was the longest break many enslaved people saw. This wasn't kindness, it was absolute control. Folks used this time. They traveled on foot to see spouses and children on nearby plantations. They cooked special dishes when they could. They worshiped in brush harbors and praise houses, and some used the holiday to flee. December 1854, Harriet Tubman guided her brothers out of Maryland while their enslaver was distracted by the holiday season. And in 1848, Ellen and William Craft rode trains and steamers to freedom using holiday passes. Black culture mixed in coastal North Carolina and Virginia. John Canoe festivals blended West African beats, drum, and dancing with the holiday season. This was documented as early as the 1800s. From the very start, Black Christmas was about spiritual hope and cultural joy. At the same time, blackface spread among the United States from the 1830s until the early 1900s. Some holiday events folded that mockery of Black people into December, with white performers performing at blackface Santa at parties, parades, and even corporate functions. Papers treated it as entertainment. For Black families, the message was very clear. In a season that promised welcome, there were doors that were still shut in your face. So the Black community did what they always did. We built our own holiday spaces. Church organized pageants and toy drives. Mutual aid groups and sororities hosted giveaways. And Negro Santas appeared because Black children needed to see themselves in the magic. In 1936, at Harlem's Christmas Eve party at Golden Gate Ballroom, Bill Bojangles Robinson dressed up in a suit for thousands of neighborhood kids. Lines stretched out the door, but joy spread, and the point was very clear: this season belongs to us too. After World War II rearranged cities in the United States, in 1943, Stein's department store on 25th Street, Harlem, hired a Black Santa, one of the earliest department stores to do so on record. Chicago department stores followed in the mid-40s as Black customers became central to their downtown business. Sometimes it was conviction, but often it was economics and pressure because boycotts were very, very real. Either way, more children stood in line for a Santa who looked like their family. Meanwhile, after emancipation, during the Great Migration, Black Christmas traveled from the rural South into cities across the North and the West. Churches stayed the anchor. candlelight services on December 24th, watch night on December 31st to remember Emancipation Proclamation taking effect in 1863. Factory wages and layaway brought store-bought trees and gifts into the living room. Ebony and Jet launching in 1945, both December issues with Black holiday life, choirs, parties, homecomings, so readers could say that they look like us. During this time, critics claimed that Santa was a fixed image, but records show that he was constantly under reinvention, whether it was an 1823 poem, an 1860 illustration, or a 1931 ad campaign. So the real question wasn't, can Santa change, but who gets to change him? Along the way, civil rights organizations proved that December pressure could move policy. The Montgomery bus boycott began December 5th of 1955, using the holiday season to put strain on the bus system. Selective buying campaigns as early as the 1960s in Jackson, Mississippi, Chicago, and other cities hit stores during their peak shopping season, demanding fair hiring and respectful treatment. Red suits also helped spotlight. NAACP branches rolled Black Santa floats in parades to draw media attention, and Black Santa events raised scholarship funds. In 1969, Cincinnati's Shield department store refused to hire Black Santa, so local civil rights groups and ministers organized protests and petition. By 1970 season, management had relented and started to hire Black Santas. By the 1970s, even Macy's flagship store in New York joined that list. At the same time, Operation Breadbasket in Chicago ran Black Christmas campaigns in 1968, tying economic justice to the season. Images of Santas and dashikis appeared in marches and parades. The suit became more than a costume. It was a statement of pride and power. Some in the community argue that we should step away from the commercial holiday altogether and center African-rooted traditions. Kwanzaa began in 1966, a 7-day celebration that focused on the principles of unity and self-determination. For many families, it wasn't either or. You could attend church on Christmas and celebrate Kwanzaa the next day, and still take the kids to see Black Santa on Saturday. By the 1990s, Black Santas were mainstream. Ornaments, wrapping paper, and TV specials. There was a flashpoint later. In 2013, a cable host on air said that Santa must be white. 2016, Mall of America hired Larry Jefferson, a Black Army veteran, as Santa. Outrage followed, but families still signed up for photos. December is the top retail month. When Black communities said, we'll spend where we're respected, businesses adjusted their hiring, their ads, and their storefront. Sometimes out of conviction and sometimes due to some accounting math. Either way, the red suit could do politics with a smile without losing its magic that makes December work for little Black children. In the end, think of Black Christmas as a table. Watch night on December 31st to remember emancipation in 1863, the church pageant, collard greens and black-eyed peas on the stove, presents under the tree. Black Santa is a seat at that table. It isn't the entire meal, but it's a part that says that you're included here, and he became possible because Black Christmas was built alongside to welcome him. So when someone asks, why make Santa Black? It's because Black families built a Christmas culture across 2 centuries. The suit learned to fit within that culture because the holiday has always changed with the people who celebrate it, and we have been there from the very beginning. Black Christmas and Black Santa rose together, the season we made and the figure that we reshaped, so that Black children could see themselves in America's favorite holiday. Thank you. I'm Hill Country Boy, and this is the story of Black Santa and Black Christmas. If you like stories like this, you can find more stories like this at onemikehistory.com. I'd like to thank all my financial contributors. Thank you all. I love you all. You are so wonderful. Peace.